Twitter has been thoroughly convinced that Boruto is solar system level. So on the Naruto official website, they basically gave the definition of what Uzuhiko is. And from the Japanese original to the English, it's pretty much spot on, the translation for English. That's why literally everybody is saying, don't compare Boruto to these fodders. King Lion can probably relate to this one. Remember when people were trying to downplay Uzuhiko to only planet level? Y'all know who you are. If I understand correctly, if Uzuhiko uses the orbit of the planet, it also means that it uses the rotation of the moon in every astral force inside the planet's orbit. So if you're not up to date with Boruto, basically he has this ability. And it looked like it just threw off code, so he wasn't able to hit Boruto. Like every time he tried to hit him, he was like, quit moving around. But as Boruto explains, it's actually a Rasengan that incorporates a planet's chakra rotation. And just like a planet never stops spinning, so will you. But let's read the full definition because there's a lot of information to unpack here. A new form of Rasengan that utilizes not only one's own chakra, but also the planet's rotation and orbit, plus the corresponding centrifugal and other forces. And we know that the planet's orbit is literally caused by the sun. So this is why all these Boruto fans are bringing up scans like, remember when Momoshiki said that he was going to destroy the solar system? As it says here, Momoshiki was able to create a dimension with visible stars and planets. Now this part of this translation is actually true, where it said Momoshiki was going to fully absorb a star. But the word for star in Japanese can also mean like basically an astral object. So the same word, hoshi, although it's the star in the sky, we know that not all stars in the skies are necessarily suns or stars. Because when we look at the sky, we also see planets that are in the sky, which are actually stars, if that makes sense. So the part that would be wrong in this sentence is the star, which would be a planet. But because basically these fans were arguing that he absorbed the star, it would destroy the solar system. Now that was added. This is not part of the original translation or the fan translation in English. And a lot of these fan translations get taken down because of copyright. Because you can't go publishing like your own fan translation of these Japanese novels for Naruto. So this is why the debate community kind of keeps all of the novels like secret. Because you'll find out there's a lot of these Naruto novels that are available for free, like online translations, but you can't just go publish somebody else's content for free. The other option is if you have somebody that speaks Japanese, you can just get them to read the novel to you. Which is why in almost every Naruto anime debate, especially to do with like the Japanese translations, people couldn't debunk the stuff that I was explaining because it's literally Japanese only. So going back to this, in addition to the damage that a standard Rasengan causes, it destroys the target's sense of balance, debilitating them. Due to the unceasing nature of planetary movement, the effects of Uzuhiko do not fade, resulting in not just physical harm, but untold psychological damage. Boruto refers to the planetary energy used for Uzuhiko as planet's chakra, but this is not the same as nature energy. Now people are saying this is really dumb, like no one in Naruto pulls off anything of solar system or controlling planets and things like that. But this happened in Shippuden.
From the Ten Tails, that ninjutsu is still being secretly passed down. It is the sealing jutsu process for Jinchuriki. Yes, the sage was the Ten Tails Jinchuriki. He sealed the Ten Tails within himself to suppress the monster. The sage who saved humanity from being terrorized by the beast was revered as a savior and as a god. But the sage feared that upon his death...
To give you an idea of just the power of the Ten Tails alone, it swallows oceans. So that's like plural, right? Like do you know how big the ocean is? Like how much landmass that covers, or for that matter? Splits the land, carries mountains, and is the progenitor of all that exists in the world. And then after the Asutsuki absorb the power from the Ten Tails, or merge with the Ten Tails like Kaguya, or eat the fruit of a Ten Tails, they're basically given godlike powers such as omnipotence. And it is said that this is the technique used to create the current world and its infinite possibilities. So because various characters had the power of the Ten Tails, they were able to create, destroy, or even control planets. This is why it was stated even in the manga. This is the manga chapter 467. And this is the chapter where they explain Hagoromo through the moon into like across the galaxy to where it is now. You would need literally gravitational orbiting powers type thing to achieve such a feat. On top of that, he uses same energy from the Ten Tails to create the moon itself, using the corpse of the Ten Tails. And just a reminder, Naruto's body was, in a manner of speaking, the Jinchuriki for the Ten Tails, which has a planetary amount of chakra inside. Meaning not just Naruto, but anyone that's basically interacted with the Ten Tails, merged with it, used its chakra, would be hitting that planetary and beyond. Basically because Boruto has Momoshiki as inside of him because of karma, right? He was already a star solar system buster, and that Boruto has been fully extracted into by Momoshiki. And that Momoshiki can no longer basically take over Boruto, and he can't use him as a vessel anymore. This means that Boruto has all the power of Momoshiki, because the more adept you become at using the Karma Seal, this will allow you to not only unlock the memories and the experiences and all the training and all the fighting combat experience, but it will allow you to use all of the abilities of those previous Osutsuki's data, their DNA that has been ingrained into that Karma Seal. Meaning Boruto is not only Boruto's power, but he also has Momoshiki's power and any other Osutsuki such as Kinshiki. As stated even in this, that a new form of Rasengan that utilizes not only Boruto's chakra, but also the planet's rotation and orbit. So we know that the Sage's 6 paths, not only in the manga and the anime, he hurled the moon. He sealed away the chakraless body of the monster and hurled it into the sky. And it became the moon, which is basically a planetary feat right there, because the amount of energy it takes to throw it as well as create is much greater than just creating a moon. And creation is stronger than destruction, so creation of a moon would actually put it at planetary already in terms of amounts of energy. Because that's the definition of planetary. How much energy it actually takes to create or destroy something. Planetary doesn't equal destroying a planet. It's actually a lot more than that if you bother to read the definitions. Not to mention Toneri, who basically one-shotted the moon and was one-punched by Naruto, like knocked out by his fist. Toneri was stated to be the strongest enemy thus far, and he came after Kaguya. This puts Naruto over Toneri over Kaguya. And people claiming that Naruto doesn't scale because of this event, obviously don't watch the rest of the show, because if Toneri is over Kaguya, this is irrelevant. Naruto basically single-handedly fought against Toneri and won, who was supposedly stronger than Kaguya. And I get it, maybe you're a One Piece fan and you want to downplay Naruto to beneath, like literally country level, is the kind of thing that I'm seeing on TikTok. But it's funny how on one platform, you've got people arguing that Naruto isn't planetary. And then on other platforms, they're arguing that Naruto is universal and solar system level. But one thing I do notice though, is that the people that are making these arguments that Naruto is not planetary have not watched or read Naruto. And they're mostly TikTokers, which are people that have very short attention spans. I guarantee nobody watched this entire 7-minute video as an example. But thankfully, my YouTube audience, you guys tend to actually watch every video to the end. And that's because you don't have an attention span of a goldfish. Now, in my personal opinion, I still think that this official statement puts him somewhere around planetary, like large planetary. And I can understand arguments for star level. But I don't think that it could put him into solar system as of yet. Especially when we haven't actually seen a solar system been destroyed yet. And I definitely don't think that Boruto is universal currently. Maybe with some more proof of evidence like actual feats, I think we'll have a lot easier time trying to prove that. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the official Uzuhiko explanation.